Welcome to Sapporo. Sapporo is known for its ramen, specifically its miso ramen. So in this video we're going to be trying some of the city's best that we can find. After spending a whole month on the Thailand islands in 30-degree heat, I was not prepared for this freezing cold weather. I had to go to my sister's and raid her wardrobe because I didn't have any clothes. So, thanks Jenna.
So our first stop for the video is a little ramen spot called Ramen Shingen. These restaurants typically get really busy because they are quite small. So we're heading there about 4:30 in the afternoon to try and get a seat before the afternoon rush. So we're here and that's the line. It looks to be about an hour's wait. Normally we wouldn't wait in the line for an hour, but considering this video is us looking for the best ramen, this must be one of the best ramen, so we're gonna line up.
We're estimating this line is going to take about maybe an hour to get through. What do you think?
Well, we've been here 15 minutes and we've moved maybe, I don't know, 10 people?
Do you reckon that far?
Maybe not
like
that far.
1 metre, I would say. But it's 4:30. Well, it was 4:30 when we got here, so we'll let you know how long it takes. So we're at the front of the line. It's taken just over an hour to get this far. It is so cold and I just want to get inside.
We're in, we're warm, we've placed our order. It is still quite busy in here, so we should be eating ramen in about 30 minutes.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu.
And we're done.
We are done. We're going to give a recap of our thoughts and opinion of that ramen place shortly. We're just getting out of this vicinity.
Trying to find some light too. So we found some light. So what do you think of that ramen?
It was good. It was fine. I don't think it was worth waiting to, I'm so cold I can't even talk. I don't think it was worth the 2-hour wait. I think just my expectations were extremely high given the wait time.
Yeah.
And it was quite average, to be honest.
It was. I thought the price was good when we walked in there. I think we paid $8.80 for one bowl, but then you had to add an egg, add seaweed, which normally comes all together, and the egg itself was really overcooked. It wasn't your normal
soft-boiled egg.
ramen salty egg.
The noodles were amazing.
I was just about to say that. The noodles were good.
Yeah, they were probably some of the best noodles, and I know that's what makes the ramen good or not, along with the broth and the toppings, but I would say it was probably one of the best ramen noodles that we've had. Anyway, I think we are going to end this part of the vlog here. It is so cold. It's about 1 or 2 degrees right now, so we'll pick it back up tomorrow when we go to our next ramen place.
See you tomorrow.
So we're here at our next ramen spot. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna try. Ichirian. We'll put the name of it on the screen anyway.
It was a bit of a mission to find. We had to come underneath a commercial building, down some stairs, but we're here. We've just got to get order on the machine, which is over
the little vending machine.
Yeah.
So you choose what you like, you get the ticket, and then you give it to the staff, and then they make the ramen.
All right, let's order some ramen.
Yours looks amazing. Mine smells so good. So I just got the original miso-based ramen, just a half serve because I'm not overly hungry, but I am going to give it a try. I think this was plenty enough for lunch. It's got such a flavourful, rich, oily, salty miso broth. Oh, yum. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that.
I'm going to go into the first taste of my broth.
Which one did you order?
I can't remember. It's a miso base, but it's a spicy one. No, it's not. It's the most popular one. I can't remember what it was. Oh, wow.
How was it compared to last night's?
It's well above the one we had last night, and we didn't have to wait at all. So this is the egg that we thought we were ordering last night. This is how ramen eggs are. Even the meat compared to yesterday's ramen is just so much nicer. So here in front of us we've got I think it's a soy and vinegar mixture, which is always great to add. Also, a little bit of chili flakes. I do like a little bit of spice, so maybe we'll add one of those. Pretty sure that's hand sanitizer, so we won't add any of that, but we'll give this a mix up. Just adds a slightly different flavour. I like to taste the broth obviously before I add any bits and pieces to it. Oh, it's definitely a lot spicier. A lot spicier now. That vinegar also adds that nice like sourness. Very good ramen.
We haven't quite worked out the etiquette of how to actually consume the rest of the broth once you've had the noodles, but Steve's going to demonstrate his version of how to do it.
We do see a lot of people just leaving most of the broth, but it's too good to leave. Not the classiest thing to do.
Let us know if that's a thing that you do in Japan or if it's just something that Steve does. Good was that? That was really nice.
Yeah.
That was probably we've had about 5 or 6, I think, since being in Japan. That was my third favourite.
I'm going to say probably my second.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
My first one was the one in the other video when we first got to Sapporo. Amazing, the garlic pepper, and the tonkatsu in Tokyo.
I'm going to say Tokyo is my number one.
Yeah.
I ended up ordering extra ramen noodles and extra broth for mine. That was way too much ramen for lunch.
I had the perfect amount. Mine was perfect.
But note, we only need to order a half size next time. All right, see you tomorrow when we're off to our next ramen stop.
See you then.
All right, so it's another night and another bowl of ramen.
Yes, we're heading to a place called, well, what's known as Ramen Alley here in the middle of Sapporo city centre. And we haven't chosen anywhere, we haven't really done any research, so we're going to head there now and grab some delicious ramen. Our order. It is so quiet in here and I don't want to be obnoxious and talk loud as per usual. I ordered just the plain original miso ramen and you got the...
I went the miso ramen with the spicy broth, which isn't really normally that spicy. So we've also got a little bit of extra chili powder here to crank it up a notch.
Yeah, and we're hungry. We haven't had ramen for, what, 24 hours, so we're really looking forward to this.
It's very hot.
Ooh, this one looks good.
Oh, it smells really good. You can smell the garlic. I'm going to give this broth a taste. Oh, that's good. Well, it's quite spicy too. Huge chunk of meat.
I'm going to give mine a try. I just got the standard original miso ramen like I usually get. I think it's a lot easier to judge the ramen if you get the same thing consistently. The egg looks awesome. I just dropped it. But it's all about the noodles. It's so hot. Oh, that broth is amazing. So I need to try yours, but this is so good. And this pork. It's huge. It's massive. That is the best meat I've had in ramen. I think this one might be my favourite. And I'm not just saying that because the chef keeps walking past us.
It's also the best price out of the 3 so far. So each one of these, I think mine was 900, Christie's was 800. We didn't have to add any extras. They both came with your egg, which this one looks delicious.
And seaweed.
And yeah, seaweed, really good.
I don't know if I said this in one of the other vlogs. I don't know how many times you chew noodles. Like, we don't really eat a lot of pasta at home. And sometimes I find myself just putting it in my mouth, chewing it, and then just swallowing pretty much the noodle whole. Like, how much are you supposed to chew a noodle? How many times do you chew a noodle? Stresses me out. I'm pretty sure that the broth is miso and it's got butter in it as well, so it's super rich, really oily, really creamy, delicious. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want on a cold winter's day, night, morning, whenever. It's very, very warming. It's like one of those cozy, home-cooked sort of feelings that you get when you eat it, don't you think? Like,
Yeah.
It's just super...
I don't know what to say. I'm just sweating here eating this one.
He actually has got sweat beads dripping down your face.
Yes, you do.
Where?
Okay. It might not be sweat beads, but it's definitely a glisten.
So normally I do have to add a little bit of chili flakes or powder. Not in this one, that was pretty spicy.
Also, check out all of the layers of clothes I bought. I have 3 coats because it is that cold. Am I exaggerating?
A little bit, like it's cold outside, but it's not 3 coats cold.
Layer 1. Layer 2. Third and final layer. Can't forget the And this is what we went. Some of these restaurants don't actually open till like 8, 9, some even 10 o'clock, and they stay open all weekend, or they close at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I think this is the perfect place to come after a big night out.
So a quick summary on the 3 ramens. The first ramen, which was probably our least favourite ramen, I think, out of the 3.
It did have the best noodles though.
That's true. I just think the broth was lacking a little bit.
Yep.
The egg was definitely not quite there, and I don't think we talked about it, but the meat was pretty average
The
looking
meat
as well.
was very
Yeah.
I mean, who are we to judge? We're, but we are. This is what the video's about, so, and it's just our opinion.
Yeah, and the second one, I think that was probably
Oh, that was good.
our second favourite. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yep.
Yep.
That was really nice. The broth was quite peppery.
It also came with scrambled egg mixed through, which was really nice. I've never had that before. And a really low-key spot. We were the only ones in the restaurant by the end of it. I think
Yeah.
they were closing. Hard to find. Cool little spot underground.
Yeah, really unassuming sort of place. You would not stumble upon there if you didn't know that it was there. And this third one was the best. It was great.
Everything, yeah. The meat
Yep.
was pretty much like brisket. It
Yep.
was a huge
Oh,
chunk
yeah, it
of
was.
meat.
Yep.
Lots of flavour in the broth.
Yep.
For me, probably too much flavour. It was quite hot towards the end.
Steve walked out sweating. He had to take his clothes off, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm sweating."
It's hot. I'm not hot anymore. I'm back to being cold.
And it also came with the toppings, so the seaweed
Yeah.
and the egg and the spring onion, bean shoots, bamboo. It had everything with it. You didn't have to pay additional for those. Also, we forgot to mention, the first night we were here and filming the flight travel day from Tokyo to here, we had the best ramen out of all of them.
I
Out
think
of
so, yeah.
all of the ramen we've had so far in Japan, even probably better than the Tokyo one in Akibara.
I don't know. That was pretty good.
Different. That was
Yeah.
a
Yes,
tonkatsu.
true.
This was a miso. So they're two completely different. But that first night, the ramen was phenomenal. It
Yep.
was. How good was it?
Had everything. It was
Yeah.
just the perfect ramen.
really
Especially
was.
after a long travel day.
Uh-huh.
And that night we got here, it was raining
Oh my God.
and snowing.
It was so cold.
all we felt like was a big bowl of noodles and ramen.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I think we're going to head around the corner and grab dessert. We saw something.
Oh yeah, there's a. We'll show you.
It's typical Japan. It's out of a vending machine.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
They're all sold out.
All right, we'll see you next time. I've heard the alley's actually referred to as Ramen Alley because there is so many ramen shops.
Makes sense. He got shy. It made perfect sense. You ran out of words. Well, you said what you needed to say, and it made perfect sense. So, just a guy enjoying his ramen.